Hello friends, in this video lecture we will discuss about extra embryonic membrane and embryonic development. So first about extra embryonic membrane. As the name suggests, extra embryonic membranes are the additional membranes which are found around embryo. In fetal development process, embryo later on converted into fetus while the membrane is still continued. So these membranes are also known as fetal membrane. The main function of these membranes is for protection of developing or growing embryo or fetus, so also known as protective membranes. And all the organisms which are carrying such type of membranes, they known as amniotes. Mammals, birds and reptiles, these are the organisms which are categorized under amniotes because they are carrying these additional membranes, while fishes, amphibians, they are categorized under anamniotes because the membranes are absent in that. There are four types of extra embryonic membranes: chorion, amnion, allantois and Yolk Sac. Here in this diagram, that is about human fetus within the uterus, these are the labelings. So first here is placental villi, that is formed by the fusion of chorionic villi plus uterine tissue. Chorionic villi is projection of chorion. So what is chorion? Chorion, as in this diagram, this complete external covering that totally surrounds this embryo or fetus all around is known as chorion, and this helps in placenta formation, that is given here in form of placental villi, that is the site of exchange in between fetus and mother for all kind of substances that may be nutritive as well as waste material. Second is amnion. So in this diagram here, the next covering, this one, this covering is amnion. Amnion also covers whole of the embryo, but this is inside the chorion. So amnion, this one is filled here by a liquid that is known as amniotic fluid, and the cavity, this is known as amniotic cavity. The main function of this membrane is to provide protection against shock and extreme water loss, that is desiccation. This layer also helps in regulation of embryonic or fetal body temperature. Next is allantois. So this point is about allantois. Allantois provides blood vessels to these placenta. As we earlier know, there is no direct blood supply from mother's blood vessels inside the embryo or fetus. So this is going through allantois. All the exchanges that going in between mothers and fetus, this is mainly by diffusion. So this allantois is helpful in removal of liquid and gaseous waste from this embryo or fetus, and this supply towards mother's body. The fourth is Yolk Sac. This is here. So Yolk Sac, usually this is non-functional in human female except early blood synthesis, that is hemopoiesis. So these are four membranes. There are further few more labelings, like this is uterine cavity. This uterine cavity region is known as body, this portion is fundus, and this lower narrow region is cervix. This cervix covering a tube-like structure that is known as cervical canal, and this canal at the time of pregnancy is getting filled by mucus secretions that is helpful for protection of growing embryo or fetus. This stops entry of pathogenic substances like bacteria inside the uterus. Next here is embryo, that is at this region. We already discussed from the inner cell mass of blastocyst there will be development of embryo, and in the later phases of embryonic development there will be development of umbilical cord. So this is here umbilical cord that causes connectivity in between this growing embryo or fetus as well as placenta. So as we discuss, extraembryonic membranes or fetal membranes are membranes that are found around the embryo in amniotes. Amniotes are the organism carrying extraembryonic membranes. These are mammals, birds and reptiles, and these are four kinds of extraembryonic membranes. First is chorion that totally surrounds and protects the embryo. This helps in placenta formation. Placenta is considered as a structural and functional unit between fetus and mothers. This causes all type of exchanges in between fetus and mother's body. That's why structural and functional unit. Placenta is formed by the fusion of chorionic villi and uterine tissue. Second layer is amnion. This also surrounds total embryo, but this membrane is just inside the chorion, and there is a space in amniotic membrane that is known as amniotic cavity, and this is filled by a liquid which is known as amniotic fluid. This fluid prevents embryo from shock as well as desiccation, that is extreme drying or water loss. This membrane by their fluid also regulates embryonic body temperature. The third is allantois that provide blood vessels to placenta, and this removes liquid as well as gaseous waste from embryo. The fourth one is Yolk Sac that we discuss is non-functional in humans except early blood synthesis. This is known as hemopoiesis. Extraembryonic membrane present inside the egg cell. As we discuss here, extraembryonic membrane present only in mammals, birds and reptiles. Further, there may be two categories. This membrane may be present inside the egg cell if organism carrying hard calcareous covering around egg, that is known as egg cell. So this membrane is present inside the egg cell in case of birds, reptiles and monotremes of prototherians. These are earlier mammalians. Duck-billed platypus and echidna are few examples of this one. Platypus and echidna are examples of prototherians that are endemic in Australian region. Extraembryonic membrane present in case of uterus in marsupials that are pouched animals and placental animals that are eutherians. Next is about embryonic development. So in human female, embryonic development lasts after 9 months or 3 trimester of pregnancy period. One trimester is about 3 months. So 9 months or 3 trimester or nearly 40 weeks of pregnancy. The first 2 months of pregnancy is known as embryonic period of development, while third month onwards up to birth, the period is known as fetal period of development. In NCERT, there is about question related with pregnancy period of dog, cat and elephant. So this is given here for dogs and cat. This is about 2 months, while in case of elephant, this is for 2 years. In case of human, as we discuss, pregnancy period or embryonic development period is for 9 months. So what changes occurs during these months of pregnancy? These few points are given, that is from NCERT directly. First, this is about at the end of first month pregnancy. During end of first month pregnancy, embryo heart formation is there that can be heard by the use of stethoscope, and this is the first sign of growing fetus in mother's uterus. In the end of second month, fetus develops limbs and digits. In the end of third month, that is about after 12 weeks or first trimester, there is development of most of the organ system in that growing fetus. For example, limbs and external genitalia. In the end of fifth month, there will be first movement in case of fetus. as well as appearance of hair on the head region, while at the end of 6 months body is covered by fine hairs, eyelashes formed here and eyelids are getting separated, while in the end of 9 months, that is after third trimester, fetus is fully developed and this is ready for delivery, that is parturition or childbirth.